Do you plan to make movies yourself? That's actually a really good question. Um, we are talking about making movies ourselves, independently, of course, or however uh, course of action is going to take us. But
Yeah.
it's obviously with the quarantine and the shutdowns, it's hard right now. I mean, heck, John was supposed to be in a movie, and I don't even know if that's still a go or not.
As of right now, I'm going to say that it is still a go.
Okay.
You sent me an article about the director from, and I'll get more into that. But yeah, as of right now, as far as I know, it's still a go.
Uh, yeah, a couple movies we have ideas in mind for are actually we have a Rocky Horror tribute idea for a movie involved. It's kind of like a love letter to the fans and the show, our appreciation for the show. It's based more around the live show more
Hmm.
and what it means to not just guys who want to participate and bring the show on stage to one of their favorite theaters, but also to what it means to fans and the community that it brings and the support that Rocky Horror actually has. And another one that we're talking about, we did talk about Rocky Horror and how that's obviously a copyright thing, but we have this really good idea for a Ghostbusters movie, and I really don't want to give too many details about it because every time I pitch this idea out, everybody absolutely loves it, and because it's heavily copyrighted, obviously it's we might just make it for fun. We don't know, but we want to take it seriously. But it's supposed to be guys who are ghost hunters and they actually reach out to the originals and start their own branch. Say they want to like franchise and continue on, and there's like little inside jokes
Mm.
like people say, "Oh, you'll never be as good as the originals," you know, stuff like that's
Just
in
like tongue in
there.
cheek, yeah.
And it's also supposed to be a bit more serious. It's kind of like it's actually a mix of Ghostbusters itself and The Conjuring, and we're gonna dive deep into like some spirituality and even bring religion into like prayer and hope and the taking down the adversary.
Hmm.
So yeah, we do have a couple ideas in mind. We are writing them when we can. We collaborate when we can. Of course, we want to try to make the best product that's possible, and we're pretty much gonna have to find that out on our own. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we are planning on doing movies ourselves. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
question.
Good question. I know, Colin, you were mentioning the movie that I'm supposed to be hopefully going to be involved in shooting is a movie called Hail Mary. It's being directed by Daniel Roebuck, who's been in the business for years. I mean, you look this guy on IMDb, he's got like 400 credits. He actually was in Rob Zombie's recent movie. I forget
He
what
was in H
what
two,
was it
right?
called? I don't know if he was in H2.
I
He's
think he
always
was in the
been
strip
that.
club.
Maybe he was. I think it was. He's got a lot of credits though. He's always been that supporting role that's always there in the movies that you least expect, like Final Destination or We Were Soldiers. I actually I don't remember Rob Zombie's recent movie. It came out last year, didn't it, Jeff? I think. Then you said you saw it. Yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It was
He's
just
made a bunch of
flag.
movies though. But anyway, that movie is supposed to be a football inspirational drama. It's supposed to be filming in Bethlehem, PA, in July. The casting process was supposed to be happening this month, but because of the COVID-19 situation going on right now, that's a little bit of a setback. But as of right now, it's still a go. I'm currently writing a screenplay right now for a competition, but I also want to really pursue this to be a script to get made into a film one day. It's basically it's a horror, psychological horror movie, basically about my experiences as a wood craft builder, as a carpenter, and the way I got inspired by this screenplay was a combination of two films, American Psycho and Black Swan. Basically, the theme is suffering through your art. And that's something that I want to get too much into detail about, but that's on the lines of what I'm going towards. In terms of other films that have come up, I know we're in post-production right now with a short film I made called Birdland, which is a short film that was filmed in Philadelphia about is there an answer to a higher power in life? And then there's another one that I was really excited about called Sleep, Walk, Kill, which is a horror comedy very much in the vein of Shaun of the Dead. The cast and crew had a lot of fun making that movie. That was in Bucks County, PA. Very small crew, but they really believed in this project. And I've seen the daily footage, and it's fun. It was a good time shooting this horror comedy with a lot of like body horror, with like, you know, just people getting their fingers chopped off and like eyes coming out and teeth getting knocked out. They really went all out with a very low budget, and I'm excited for that to eventually see a trailer soon. It should be ready this year. So that's
Nice.
what I have coming up.
I got nothing going on other than work, the baby. Yeah,
You got the most important job. You're a dad.
I know. I feel like you guys are like, oh yeah, we got all this cool shit. I'm like, I'm going to pass, a hard pass. Just go.
You're involved with this.
Yeah, I mean,
I am, but it's like, wow, I don't know how to follow up with everything. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, for anybody who doesn't know, I mean, like, I've done theater and all sorts of stage work growing up. There's like really wasn't a moment in my life where I wasn't involved in the performing arts some way, somehow. Just don't ask me to sing because I can't. But Jeff has done some acting here and there, and he is very good at it. And we all plan to participate, not just behind the scenes, but in front. Yeah, sorry if you don't feel like we're good looking enough, but fuck you. At least I'm honest.
Listen, I'm literally looking at this bald spot in the reflected light hitting this camera right now. Getting so much fucking lens flare. I feel like I'm in a Star Trek movie that J.J. Abrams did.
There's a lot of glare coming off that dome. Oh,
At
God.
least you had lights in that movie.
Yeah.
Okay. On to the next question.
Next question. Yeah, let's hear it.
Favorite music, TV shows, and what do you recommend?
Jeff, start us off.
All right, like honestly, I listen to a lot of metal. Like August Prince Red just put out a new album. I know Lamb of God's putting out a new album. So it's like pretty much what the music I'm into. I do obviously listen to a lot of Frozen and Disney stuff because of my daughter. It's kind of funny. I literally have a disdain for Elsa right now. TV shows, like honestly, the one show I still watch, I'm always going to watch is Mystery Science Theater. Wow. Ash vs. Evil Dead is always an amazing show. Like What We Do in Shadows is actually a really funny show. I would recommend watching the movie first, but no one really knew about it until now.
Yeah, true.
You know, artists. I'd say honestly, the most artists I know are, if you're talking about like art, like drawing, I think of like comic books, so it's like Jim Lee, stuff like that, but I really don't know past that.
In terms of, I'm trying to think what was the first. It was music. I know, like, I'm not sure how long this band's been around, but I only started hearing their music about, I think, a year ago, and it was the band Ghost. They're a very heavy metal band. I forget, where are they from, Jeff? I think you've seen them before.
I think I want to say Sweden or
maybe they're Sweden. They're Swedish, I think. But anyway, I love their music, what they got going on right now. I mean, I hear their songs on the radio constantly. I'm in the same boat as Jeff in terms of loving metal and hard rock. As silly as their songs are, I can't get enough of Five Finger Death Punch. I mean, they're ridiculous lyrics, but I don't know. It's just something to really like just bang your head to. I love it. But I love all the classic metal and hard rock bands. In terms of shows, I'm into season 5 right now. It's going on right now. Better Call Saul. I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. I think Better Call Saul, some people say it actually might be even better than Breaking Bad. I don't know yet because I want to see if they stick the landing with the last season that's going to come out next year. But Bob Odenkirk, who is a writer from SNL, I mean, he's brilliant as Saul Goodman. He's hilarious. I want to see this guy in more films. I really do because he's good combination of comedic and dramatic. Other shows like there's Jeff mentioned What We Do in the Shadows. That's a really hilarious show. There's a canceled show that I wish was still on right now. It's called Channel Zero. Fuck you, Sci-Fi, for canceling it. Because that was the best thing you had going for you, and then you just ruined it. But that's a show, that's a horror show, that's horror done right. There's 4 seasons of it, and it's still available to check out. If you want to see horror filmmaking done right, and a show that will actually scare you and not be this trashy anthology series that's becoming of American Horror Story, which I liked in the beginning, but now I'm over it. I'm done with it. Channel Zero is not the name recognition, but it is far superior in terms of generating good crafting scares. Artists right now. Well, I know this kind of goes back in the music thing, but I hear a lot of, you know what, I may be a metalhead and I like hard rock, but I like Lady Gaga. I like what she brings to the table. I love what she sings. Her music videos are badass, and she's a capable actress. I can't wait to see what she does next. I think she's in a Ridley Scott film coming out soon, where she's the lead actress in that movie, so I'm down for that. And, keep making music, Gaga, because you're talented. You can play the piano, you can actually sing and not some auto-tuned queef. I mean, my God. Seriously. Keep it coming. Act, sing, do everything. I don't care. I'll see it. I'll hear it.
Me?
Yeah, that's you. Yeah.
I actually don't watch a whole lot of current TV, so I'm going to have to kick it old school when it comes to TV shows. And, of course, I'm going to say the old 60s Adam West Batman. That's so much fun, and I think the costumes are absolutely great. And Jeff and I were actually fortunate to meet Adam West. And you know how they say you shouldn't meet your heroes? I was more than impressed, and he really lived up to that character.
We also got to see you be a dick to Burt Ward.
Yeah. Yeah. That was interesting.
So, Colin and my relationship is always based upon who can make the other do something fucked up. So we went to the Philly Comic Con, or was it WizardCon? Adam West was there. We were going to go see him. And he's like, yo, you should go to Burt Ward, look at the price, and it's fucking as high as Adam West. Literally just go, I'm bounced. So what do? I go get Adam West, meet him, loved it. Most amazing thing ever. Go over to Burt Ward, see it's the same fucking price. I'm like, fucking just left. He was like all excited. I'm like,
yeah, he was all like, hey guys, what's going on?
Oh, no.
I got to sit in the Batmobile that day. That was really cool.
Nice.
Another show that I recommend is actually the Batman animated series. I mean, I know it's like me, it's Batman, but this is why Batman's so popular, though, because he has stuff with substance. I mean, you get good storytelling not just through him, but through the villains itself. The art is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's like the first 3 seasons, I think, I like have like the original art that started the animated series, and it's so unique, so different. You know, we talk about it a lot in our Batman Mask of the Phantasm episode. That's like a go-to show for me all the time. There's not like one episode I think that's really bad until after season 3, but there's a lot there's a lot of really cool stuff with that, and the music is really cool in it. They like take Danny Elfman stuff and they even make their own twist with it to be unique but still have some resemblance to what Tim Burton got started. Music, I'm a metalhead too. Alice Cooper is always going to be a go-to guy for me. I mean, fuck, Jeff and I have seen him probably like 10 times, if not more.
He's a great artist.
John's seen us
twice.
John's been with us to see him.
Twice, House of Blues and in Reading. He's great. Yep. Oh, yeah, he puts on a hell of a show live.
His show is amazing. I mean, Jeff and I were like 2 rows away from him, and he couldn't believe that we knew lyrics to newer songs, and he actually looked at us and pointed and gave us one of these, and we were like, holy shit. And I think he was just so pumped because he saw these kids like new as shit. We were like all into the show, like, yeah, fucking Cooper. But yeah, I'll always say awesome things about Alice Cooper. Ozzy Osbourne's another artist. Ronnie James Dio. I'm trying to think of people outside of metal, but another
You're a Gaga
artist,
fan.
Yeah, I am. But one of my favorite artists that I was very fortunate to see was Chris Cornell. I mean, that dude could. I mean, I can't explain how amazing it was to hear him live. I mean, what you hear on the CD is him, but just 100 times better. Like as soon as he hits a singing note, like I saw a show where it was just him on a guitar, and it was all acoustic. And when he came out, he's talking to us, saying hi, he's playing, and then as soon as he started singing, it was like there was a whole different atmosphere. And even the people, like right away when you heard it, you're on the edge of your seat and everybody just starts cheering and going nuts. I mean, I've seen Kiss. I absolutely love Kiss too. I've seen Guns N' Roses. They put on a great show. I saw Roger Waters perform Dark Side of the Moon at Madison Square Garden, and those were all like great shows. Incredible. Stage work, production value. Like I said, Cooper's, I mean, if you want to see a great show, go see him.
Mm-hmm.
But Chris Cornell, man, he was like, that's just a unique talent that is in its own category, is the best way I can say it. And, you know, I couldn't believe, I was even having a bad day, and John was actually the one who texted me, and I said, what the hell else can go wrong? And he said the unfortunate news, and I was like, this has got to be a joke.
It pains me to this day that I didn't see him. I had an opportunity to see him live, and I never did, and I never will, which is, it still gets me. It really does.
And the show that I was at is actually on YouTube. If you want to see what I was at, I was, look up Reading Performing Arts, Santander. It looks like the word looks like Santander.
So stupid. It's oh God, I hate that name for the
of November of 2013.
Yeah,
and
it's about right.
That show will be up there. So yeah, I recommend that. As far as actual artists, Tom McFarlane's always been a favorite of mine. He's a comic book artist. I actually saw Tim Burton stuff at the MoMA exhibit. You know, that was really cool. He even had props from all his movies. He had the figures from A Nightmare Before Christmas, and of course he had a little section of the Batman exhibit, and the way he had like 3 Batman cowls and the way they were set up.
Nice.
It felt like you were in the Batcave. And that was like really cool.
right now. Nice.
You guys forgot fucking Slayer, man.
Rain blood. Some Metallica in Cleveland. They are in their 60s and they still put on a hell of a fucking show.
You hit a nerve, John. You hit a nerve.
And a nerve.
Look at him.
What, to go to Cleveland to see Metallica? Are you kidding me?
No, just Metallica alone, man.
Dude, I don't care about Stanger and how shitty that was. Nobody talks about Stanger anymore. Even Metallica doesn't talk about Stanger anymore. They realize that album was a giant mistake. That's why they're correcting that mistake right now by making better quality music.
Dude,
have you heard them play any of those songs recently? No! They don't play that shit anymore.
Tell them to put out a greatest hits for once.
Right.
They don't have a greatest hits, but they have Garage Days Revisited where they do covers of other songs. That was back in the 90s.
Yeah, dude. They should have stayed in the 90s. That's what they did.
Take that back, you son of a bitch.
Listen,
they can do whatever the fuck they want. They're the 18th highest grossing band of all time. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Look, they can be part of the big four, but the other three are probably bigger than they are. I don't give a shit. Because they, like, Anthrax, Slayer, and fucking Megadeth make better music, even now, than Metallica has in the past.
I cannot stand Dave Mustaine singing, though. He can play guitar, but I cannot stand him as a lead vocalist. I'm sorry.
Honestly, Slayer was kicking ass before they just retired, and I'm like, it sucks, but everyone needs to go out. Metallica should have went back out in the fucking 90s, and they should have stayed there. Megadeth, they should have been done too, but they're still.
It's like they should have been done too.
Yeah, when his wrist is, you couldn't play anymore, that should have been it.
Oh man,
I've seen all these bands, and it's just crazy because
AC/DC puts on a fucking great show live. Those guys are in their 70s, and Axl Rose, you and I saw him as the lead singer that one time in Philly.
That was a wedding present I gave to John.
Yeah.
Said,
hey, he showed up on time and actually sang well.
He was early.
It was early.
Go figure.
Thank God they didn't sing a Guns N' Roses song because he's like, guys, I'm not here for GNR. I'm here for AC/DC. I'm like, good. You're off to a good start.
The following year, I did see him when Guns reunited.
Okay.
And he was actually early for that, too. The hell?
He's turning over a new leaf. He's turning over a new leaf.
Probably smoking a new leaf. That's why it turned over. So here's a real interesting one. It pertains to us, like the rest of them.
They all should be.
But somebody asked, do you have a favorite and least favorite podcast episode that you have done so far?
All right. I know I've been fooling around with a top 3 in terms of favorite podcasts that we've done. I'm actually going to go a little bit into one of the earlier ones that we did. For some reason, this one it seemed like it was a good blend of topic discussion. It's one that we all agree upon that we really like. In terms of just what we were discussing, in terms of the movie it was, and the humor that we found within one another, and that was Terminator. I actually really like the Terminator one, how that one flowed. It was one of our longest ones at about hour 30. And I just really appreciated the Austrian Death Machine shout out, because I had no idea this band existed, and oh my god, I saw 3 album covers of Austrian Death Machine. The very first thing I did when I got back to my place was put that music in. I just went on YouTube and just found that shit and just started listening to it.
Yo, it's amazing. I told you.
Oh my god. But yeah, just that movie in general. It's so funny. Like, congratulations, you broke me with just the name of your band, Austrian Death Machine.
His real band is As I Lay Dying. I think his name's like Tim Lambesis.
Okay.
he is that his normal band he tries to be serious with, but you could tell when he did Austrian Death Machine, like he didn't give a fuck. Like, fine, even mimicking Arnold's voice, I was like, dude, this is amazing. Like at one point, he goes, "Your other band has a like dying. Sounds like a dying moose."
Brilliant. Yeah, just oh man, that whole episode was just so funny, and just not just between like the Arnold Schwarzenegger mannerisms that we were doing back and forth, and just like the production woes that movie went through, because it went through a lot, and James Cameron busted his ass to make that movie happen, and I'm glad that his vision came to life. In terms of least favorite, this is one for me personally. It was Power Rangers for me, just because I felt like I was very ill prepared for that one. Even though, yes, and Jeff's rocking the Green Ranger shirt. That's awesome. Yes, I do have a history of Power Rangers, but when it came to like prepping for the movie, as well as looking into the information about Super Sentai and the production that the Americanized version went through, I just felt like I didn't do my homework for that one, because I just felt like during the Power Rangers movie talk, I was just ranting a bunch of hate speech for that movie, because it is a bad movie. It's an awful movie, and there's nothing redeeming about that film at all. Even the theme song couldn't save it, and they barely played that fucking thing. That was the best thing it was going for, and they barely used it. Why? Why don't you play the best part of your movie, the theme song? We all rocked out to that shit in the 90s, just headbanging constantly. I wish YouTube was back then so that I could play that shit on loop constantly, but it wasn't available when I was a kid. I had to wait until the show came on so I could listen to the song. No, this is bad. And I just felt like it was a bunch of hate speech from me, even though, yeah, I hated the movie, but I don't know. I felt like I could have been prepared a little bit more. That's all. Yeah.
Honestly, dude, that whole episode, I think me and you were both screaming back and forth.
I did scream a lot. I did.
At that point, didn't I scream? Like, I was like, dude, I'm sweating so bad. I'm screaming so fucking loud.
I'm screaming so bad that I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like, I don't have like one episode I love completely. Like, I enjoy doing them all. Like, pretty much the whole like surprise, like hearing everything. It's like I enjoy hearing everything. I enjoy like the rants that keep coming. It's more fun just doing this. And like they just found out, like I told them I don't listen to the podcast after we're done, not because I don't want to, but because of the fact that I only got like a 7-minute drive to work, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll try to fit this all in. Like, nah, I can't even do that. But like, it isn't until like these two or someone else that I work with, or like someone like I talk to, is like, yo, do you remember saying this? And they like start quoting me to me, and I'm like, I don't remember saying this shit. So I go back and find this in the podcast and be like, oh shit, I did say that. It's a fun thing because like I guess like in a way it won't affect like what my next episode's gonna be, because like every reaction from me is coming from like a fresh point of view. Like, yeah, we're gonna talk about this movie. I'm like, I'm not gonna let another episode influence me on that, because like, oh yeah, I did this. All right, cool. It isn't until we start getting some critiquing stuff I'll actually like go back and listen to certain segments and see how it is, how like bad it gets. And but like when we're talking about like the episodes I don't like, I remember Unforgiven being a like more, I think more of an awkward one, because like I felt like there was really uncomfortable pauses in it, but Colin might have edited it out. But it's like that was the first time we saw that movie, so we really didn't even have an opinion on it, and it was like it was a really good movie, but it felt like there was no talking points, because like, all right, first run through, like nothing we could actually like look into, like even no matter how much research we did, it still made like uncomfortable.
Interesting. Okay.
But like it was more recently where we got a critiquing on, I would say, Samurai Cop, where we cut each other off. And it was just like straight up, just like over top of each other. And I was like, I feel like that was probably our worst episode. Like even if we'd go back and redo it, I don't think it would turn out as bad. But it's like even if. But like the movie's that bad too, so it's like
Yeah.
all over the place.
You hate it and love it at the same time.
Yeah, like that movie's all over the place as is.
Yeah.
So there's really like that episode explains that movie and how it really is. Even like we're all over the place. We're telling jokes ahead of time. Those are the best parts of the movie. It's not like this movie's a fucking gem. It's
God.
Literally. There's like 20 minutes of material I might actually say is amazing, and the other like hour and 10 minutes is like, oh fuck me, why am I here? Why am I here right now? But,
our podcast is the epitome of the Samurai Cop movie.
Yeah.
The best parts in Samurai Cop is the nudity.
But like I enjoy doing this. Like I will always talk about movies no matter what, even if at work. Everyone waits for a rant. Like I might not have one. Like eventually, like there's several podcasts where I don't have a rant, but it's like some people expect it. Like a couple people are like listening to some of the other ones where I'm normally talking, and they're like, "The fuck am I missing here? You didn't even scream about this movie." I'm like, I have nothing bad about to say. I go, wait till was it Knives Out comes out or is it coming out? I think I scream more about Star Wars than I did that movie.
You almost walked out during Blair Witch Project.
Dude, that got heated. I almost fighting Colin over Nightmare. I'm like, I remember saying, so you're telling me fucking New Nightmare is a good fucking movie?
No.
Well, Wes Craven's New Nightmare is a good movie.
Yeah.
What? I mean the New Nightmare on Elm
The
Street.
New Nightmare on Elm Street, the 2010 movie.
Not Wes Craven, good fucking movie. The shit one with fucking whatever the fuck his fuck face is. I can't remember his name.
His name is Jackie Earl Haley.
Yeah, fuck that guy right now. I can't remember his name.
I can't say fuck that guy because that movie was not his fault. Rooney Mara, that movie was not your fault. It was the director and the writer's fault. That's why he's not directing anymore. I don't even remember the fucking guy's name, but that was the last movie he's ever directed. Good thing, too, because he would probably destroy whatever property he gets next.
Worse than Michael Bay. Oh, who was another... He had a hand in that.
He was a producer. He put his money for it.
I'm leaving.
Yep, there we go. Drop the mic.
Colin, what's your favorite one?
Boy, I don't even really know if I have a favorite one, and ones that I actually do like really are popular ones. I mean, for the longest time, I really liked Exorcist because that was our first episode, and I thought we did a really good job. Like, because we didn't have a game plan, it was just we're gonna do it, and boom, we did. And when I first listened to it and told everybody, I said, "Yo, I got a podcast with my best friends," and said Exorcist was the first show. They were all like, "Oh yeah," and they listened to it, and I got a lot of good feedback from it, and said, "Wow, you guys really had a lot of fun." Excuse me. And
getting choked up a little bit there, man.
No, choked, but not choked up. But, yeah. But it was our first episode. I thought we hit some really good behind the scenes points. You just tell we all had a good time doing it. It was us being us, and it was what the podcast is and supposed to be. Some other ones I really enjoy. I actually really enjoy Halloween 3 because it was different. It set the tone. It was, nobody really expected it, but it only has like 200 some views. And it came out in October. I'm kind of disappointed about that, but you can't force anybody to. I mean, it's like, we don't have sponsorship. We don't get paid for it. Like I said, we record this stuff on our cell phone. So we're just doing this for fun. I mean, we hope that we build the more and more that this comes out. But
absolutely. Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one. I thought we talked about a lot of really good stuff with it. I also think talking about the things like the marketing that played in a part as to why that became Halloween 3, why it separated from Michael Myers, to the actors and how it's known for being a bad movie, but it's like, is it really bad? Is it just bad because people are upset that Michael Myers isn't in it? But then we talked about like how it was supposed to be this American Horror Story type of anthology, and they could have brought Michael Myers back later on.
Easily.
So I'm glad we talked about that. I thought it was really cool. But if I have one that like really I'm proud of, I gotta say it's Rocky Horror Picture Show, because we actually got one of our first comments on that by I shouldn't give her name out, but we talked about how we hit on all the good points and we weren't liberal or conservative. It was just, we talked about the show and how the fans are very accepting, how the people on stage are willing to make fans friends. And apparently this person was going through a rough time, and she said, you guys are absolutely right, when it looked like she was alone and didn't have a crowd or didn't know what to do or who to talk to. Rocky Horror community was there for her. And when she praised us and for the show, as well as us talking about the movie and how she really enjoyed it, I thought, wow, that really hit home. And because if anybody listens to our shows, I kind of like to leave with a very positive message, because I like being positive. I like coming up with good points. I mean, I was thinking about being a psychiatrist at one point in my life, and I just like to spread good meaning and find messages and meanings and stuff like that and share them. And I remember saying specifically, take any prejudice aside, because Rocky Horror is an out there movie, but it's fun. I mean, that movie is so damn fun. And
it is.
It's like, if you can't accept that, how can you accept society? Because we're all unique, we're all different, and you're probably gonna meet somebody who could be like a real life Frankenfurter on the street. You can meet a Brad and Janet or a Columbia. I mean, as weird as it sounds, there are actually some weird relatable characters, but in a weird way. And then yet we got the live shows that all three of us have been to, and we know firsthand from that experience that those people that you meet that are acting on stage, they're totally cool. People that you meet in the crowd, I mean, there's nobody there to have a bad time. It's nothing but a damn good time. And I think spreading that message to everybody was really cool and really important. And that kind of has some low views, but it seems like for those who have seen it, they really enjoy it, and I'm really proud about that. Least favorite, I think we got a little too comfortable with Samurai Cop. It did become inside jokey more, and we were cutting each other off way too much. I do agree with Jeff that Unforgiven was also, I think it was cool that we talked about it from firsthand experience, and we did have some behind the scenes stories. I think our episodes are a little better when we're more familiar with the product. If there's another episode I'm disappointed in, I really don't know, because I mean, I even like the Halloween special. I mean, that was so much fun.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
I mean, I've actually listened to that as a go-to thing. If I'm in the shower, or if I just need something on, I just really enjoy having that. We just talked about the history of Halloween and said what's our favorite and least favorite horror movies and why we love the holiday. But those. I mean, I can't hate Showgirls. I don't understand why
No, it's too funny. I love that one.
Viewership. I mean, I know whenever anybody talks about the podcast, they always talk about Jeff in that episode.
Of course.
He is pretty much the guy who people want to hear the most.
He's Tony Moss.
It's like John and I are the guys setting up the joke, and Jeff is the punchline.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yo, listen, I don't understand. I don't understand how this fucking episode was like our highest views. Like that movie was so fucking bad. Like I don't even know if I said it in the podcast. I don't fucking clean my gutters while I was trying to watch. It took me 4.5 hours to watch a 2.5 hour fucking long movie. It's just because the movie's so bad. Like I was like pulling teeth watching this movie. So seeing that this one is getting like 120 views, I'm like, how the fuck?
130.
130,000 views.
All right, how the fuck is that? What am I missing? Is this movie that like so like a cult classic that it's amazing?
Jeff,
I don't know, man.
Jeff, it's the same people listening to it over and over again because they want to hear your quotes. That's why it's getting all the views.
I like how we do actually have a fair amount of comments on there. And
there are people that defend that movie. The comments are people that defend that movie.
Yeah, but
I question them back and
I question them back and I say, well, what makes it great? Like, what don't we get? And then somebody even said that, it's shot well and the lights are good and the sounds are, and I'm like, but we said that.
We did.
We actually said that in the episode.
It's professionally made.
I mean, maybe there is some satire to it that I don't understand, but I mean, I did, and John even tried to point out positives with it that are true.
There are positives in it.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie, though, but there are some positive things in it.
I mean, there is a difference between an entertaining movie and a good movie.
Yeah.
And I think, Showgirls is entertaining, like, to those people, but they just, because they like it like that, they just see it as it's good. And no, not really. I mean, there's also a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans out there, and I did say fuck the Cowboys.
You did say fuck the Cowboys, you did. I talked about Scissorgate.
Yeah. I had the wrong impression when you said that. I was like, whoops.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we got Showgirls, Exorcist, and Blair Witch are like our top 3 episodes.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Unforgiven's actually getting a little bit of a boost as well. And Birdcage, those two are going like kind of back and forth.
Birdcage was another one that was a lot of. I mean, really,
that was a fun one.
Like, we all have fun doing it.
Oh yeah.
Like, we never had intentions of like making money from it. I mean, of course we'd love to one day, and if that happens,
sponsors.
I mean, if you guys want us to grow, and if you guys have suggestions, it's like, yo, give us suggestions. Give us movies you want us to talk about, or what we should talk about more. Something that like you want to see, or like, I don't know. I mean, we don't really get that kind of feedback. I mean, I was surprised I got these questions on my Facebook page from some random people.
That's great.
Jeff and John are like, oh, nobody reached out to us, and I'm like, well, what the hell?
I don't know.
I mean, I appreciate that. These are really good questions.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that we're getting questions. I'm happy we're getting the critiquing. I'm glad about it.
Happy we're having this. Oh yeah.
I'm excited that we're actually answering questions. It's cool as shit, man. I'm surprised. Like the questions that we've already answered up to this point, I was just like,
seriously,
I was not expecting that.
We thank all of you. Seriously.
Yeah. Without you guys, we would just still be 3 assholes in my basement talking about movies. Now you all get to hear the same conversations we're having.
Yeah. Dude, without a record button.
Yeah. The conversations haven't changed. We just might get a little more informed on what we're talking about. Sometimes I just scream to scream. And I will defend the fact that the movie can be shitty and the movie can be amazing.
And Jeff's been screaming ever since I've known him.
It's a trait. Like I'm smiling and I'm still screaming. It just happened. like I said, like I'm watching this little screen and doing this. I'm watching my hands go, and it's like I don't know what to do with my hands.
It's that Italian coming out.
It's like I keep touching my face. I'm like I need to stop touching my face.
All right,
Nice.
fellas, home stretch. We really appreciate all these questions, guys. These
Yeah,
are
we got a
really
lot.
good.
This is great.
And I just thought of a couple other shows. One was Community. I think that was another really good show.
Mm-hmm.
I know John said Better Call Saul, but I don't think
Yeah.
you actually said recommending Breaking Bad as a good show. Night, Lexi.
I like that. Yeah. Another one was Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's a really funny ass show. I'm glad that it was basically saved because they canceled it after season 5. I'm like, fuck you, sons of bitches! You better bring that goddamn show back. And it's got its original home at NBC. So I'm glad that show came back.
Dude, we forgot that 70s show.
That 70s show.
Ah, yeah. Go back,
Hello?
everybody. Go back and watch that 70s show.
Seriously. Oh, great time. It's a great sitcom.
That was.
I would say go with How I Met Your Mother, but that ending season kind of fucking kills the whole show. But I'd say definitely go with Parks and Rec. That's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say Tacoma FD right now is pretty funny. So it's a newer show.
Nice. Well, good ones.
Other than that, I don't have anything else to add to past questions. So normally for our podcast, as you guys know, we have our favorite and least favorite scenes that we talk about. But this is a Q&A, and since this is our quarantine special, we said, what would be your 3 movies that you have to have during a quarantine, shutdown, or stranded on an island sort of thing? So, John, you go first, bud.
Sure. The 3 movies that I would definitely have during this period that I would watch constantly, wouldn't get sick of, are Manos, The Hands of Fate, Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium, and Cats, The Butthole Cut. No. No. Yeah, that actually exists. Cats, The Butthole Cut. That actually exists, according to the director and the actors.
All right, well hold on. Taylor Swift is in it alone. That is the butthole cut no matter what. Oh, by the way, we're from Pennsylvania. We're way better than Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Dude, I lived like 10 minutes away from her parents' place. She lives in Wyomissing. Oh my God.
Sorry.
But no, those are not my 3 quarantine movies. That was there for a joke. Or was it? No.
I'll actually strangle you this time.
No. My 3 go-to movies for this time, didn't have to think about this too hard, but I would definitely watch Avengers Endgame, the Lego Batman movie, and Army of Darkness. Those would be my 3 go-to movies because they make me laugh, they're entertaining, and they're damn good movies. So if I'm going to have something in this unprecedented and tragic period in our history, I might as well enjoy myself a little bit and not watch something so incredibly serious or dramatic or something that'll basically make me want to hate life. So those are the 3 movies I'd go with. Endgame, Army of Darkness, and the Lego Batman movie. Oh, yeah.
Wait, you're talking about Endgame, where it pretty much was a devastation of humankind.
It ends well. It ends well. Yeah. I am inevitable. Fuck you. I am Iron Man. Snap. Bitch. Purple bitch. Grimace motherfucker. You are the virus, Thanos.
Oh my God! I thought you were gonna quote Stallone from Cobra. You're the disease, and I'm the cure.
Now, if I was gonna quote Stallone, I'd be like, "I'm the law. You betray the law. The law."
We're nerds.
We're nerds. Here we are.
Yeah. I was actually having trouble with this because there's so many movies I actually enjoy. I'm not gonna lie. So I was like thinking, like, yo, we got Evil Dead trilogy, we got fucking Die Hard. I'm like, all right, I need something like kind of like I can hit all three, like horror, some comedy, and fucking like an action. I'm going with fucking original Night of the Living Dead. Always amazing. I can't hate on that movie ever. I'm gonna then go with actually Princess Bride because has everything in it: sword fighting, murder. It's an amazing movie. And last but not least,
Pro wrestler.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
Andre the Giant.
Everybody want to be
Dude, I was watching that today just with Lexi and my daughter. I was like curious to see like how Thea would do with that movie. She actually really likes Andre the Giant, and I was happy about that. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, cool. I'll find some more Andre the Giant shit. Let's do this. And then my last one will actually be 2014's What We Do in the Shadows. Like Taika, I don't know.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, that was actually like one of his first movies, and like it was such a low budget thing. Like it's funny. It's always like it's a mockumentary. So it's like they're following 4 vampires in a house, and it's all set up like they've got the Nosferatu, and they kind of go through different stages of everything. And I'm like, why doesn't anybody talk about this movie? And all of a sudden, like last year, like, oh yeah, we're doing a show. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, it's amazing.
I love the vampire gets shot with the arrow in the beginning. Oh, bloody hell.
My favorite is when the cops show up and they hear all the screaming, the yelling, and then they're like checking the house and like, yo, you don't have any fire alarms. It's like, oh, we'll take care of that. They get down to the basement. They're like, what's all this burnt stuff? And your friend's here laying on the floor. Is he all right? Oh, he's sleeping. He's just. So they take a carpet and throw it over top. I'm like, yeah, he's fine. And they're still bitching about the fire alarms. Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, like I said, there's so many movies. I figured it's like those 3 could hit every spectrum of whatever, like the romance to horror to comedy to.
Nice.
My 3, it actually goes back to my childhood. Number 1, obviously, is going to be Tim Burton's Batman. I absolutely love that movie. That's been a go-to for many, many years. I burned the shit out of that VHS tape, and believe it or not, I actually have that VHS tape still.
Nice.
And my number 2 is going to be the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. And I still have that VHS tape. Hell, I posted a picture of it recently, and the box looks like it's brand new. I cannot believe it. That's how much I love that movie. The third one I really had a hard time with because, Die Hard's so good. I even thought about The Crow. I absolutely love The Crow.
That's a good one, yeah.
And I had to do the rundown, like should I get a Tarantino movie because he's one of my favorites? Nah, not necessarily. It doesn't mean that, like one of my favorite movies ever is up on there. Same with like Johnny Depp. Do I have to have a Johnny Depp film, or there has to be a Bruce Willis film or something like that in there? But I actually am gonna go with Terminator 2.
Cool.
A lot of those 3 movies were really what like got me in the movies growing up. I mean, I absolutely love. I had to think about that because Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, I feel like you really need both. But if you have to pick one, 2 started Terminator for me because, like I said, I remember as a kid the toys and the music video, and I just thought, this robot cyborg versus the T-1000 that was liquid metal. I mean, and talk about movie magic. You watch those effects even to this day. That movie came out, 90, 91?
I think 92, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It's crazy. That's movie magic. And it looks practical. It could damn near be real.
Practical and
like
makeup.
no
Yeah,
CGI except for the T1000 melding and coming back. But even that doesn't look like CGI now.
No,
It looks really
not as.
solid. Maybe it has something to
Yeah,
do with like him being silver metallic, and it's easy
maybe.
to fake it. But I mean, that just like holds up strong to this day. The makeup that Arnold had on was crazy. The Future War where you saw the endoskeletons walking around, that's
Oh yeah.
solid stuff.
Opening scene. Yeah.
And of course like the costumes and the makeup in Tim Burton's Batman, the set of Gotham City, the Batmobile, the Batwing sequence, the gadgets and the music in that. The music in Terminator is great. And Ninja Turtles. I mean, the big thing about the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to me is the bonding of the brothers and the friendship that they had. And then Splinter has this really good message, and I feel like, and we've actually talked about this off record, where at the very end, where all the kids that the Shredder took in were all brainwashed, and they say, "Well, we got a loyalty to the Shredder," and Splinter says, he uses you. He poisons your minds to obtain what he desires. He doesn't care about you or anybody you hurt. And, we talked about that before in politics and movies. That's pretty much what politics are like. A lot of them put on a show and they don't give a damn about us in the end, as long as they get their vote to have power, and then they just build off of that. And in the end, really, the only people who are going to take care of ourselves are ourselves. And when the kids say, we're a family, and Casey Jones says, oh, did you say family? And he goes, and you call this here and that down there, and like everything that was so negative that the Shredder brought in, he goes, that's family? And then you see the Turtles are fighting an army, like, for their own lives. Yeah, that's like, what if an attack happens to us? We got to bond together, and you don't really look at it like that, but
no, you don't.
One of those hidden messages that are in there, and that's, and then even the kids from the gang, they come together. I mean, the Turtles pretty much kicked everybody's ass at that point, but they were all part of the team then, and I absolutely just love the characters, the dynamic. You have Donatello, who's the brains. Michelangelo was the party guy. Leonardo was the leader, and Raphael was the hothead, but he had a damn good heart.
He was the best one.
Plus, he was red.
He was red. He was red.
That movie also has another special place in my heart because it came out towards my birthday, and I remember my parents taking me to that in the theater. I actually saw all three movies in the theater. Terminator 2, not originally, but when it came out again for a 3D edition, I said, there's one Terminator movie I'm going to get a chance to see in the theaters. It's going to be this one. And so all of them hold a special place in my heart. They are easily go-to movies for me all the time. I absolutely love them, and I love them to this day. So.
Nice. Cool.
And that is our quarantine special.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks, guys, for all the questions. That was great. Seriously. Yep. Thank you.
That was a lot of fun. Feel free to reach us out. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook, obviously. You guys reached out to me on Facebook, but you can talk to Jeff and John. I mean, we're very easy to talk to. It's not like Jeff's gonna yell at you over typing. I mean, he will, but
Jeff might yell at you. He might yell at you. Yeah. If you talk about the Fog remake, I might yell at you even more. But
But we love talking combos, positive vibes, all that kind of stuff. So.
God, now I'm hungry. I miss combos.
Combos aren't pizza, all right?
No, it's not real pizza. It's not real pizza, I know.
Yeah, you guys can still get delivery.
This is true. Some places still deliver. This is true.
I ate a whole pizza yesterday. I'm good.
Getting one
I did last
tomorrow. I get one tomorrow.
I think the only good thing that probably came out of this quarantine is I quit smoking, and it sucks, but it's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I guess good is that I have more wood shop time, so I'm able to build things for my shop and able to promote my business online a little bit more. And I've actually made a couple sales online. I mean, now that the stimulus package has gone out to some people and people are buying things again, so they're continuing to support small businesses. And my shows have been pushed back a couple months, but that's okay. I'm just getting prepared for that. And I'm glad I'm actually focusing on writing again. I hadn't written anything in months, and now I got the time, so might as well. That's something to take out.
Also, John just, I don't know if you completed it yet, but you undertook a pretty impressive project.
Yeah, I did. Oh man, it's right here. Hold on, one moment. This
Wait. You were sitting with that the whole time then? I thought you put it away. You fucking sitting over there with it on your hand like, ah.
Well, I sleep with it most nights, just, because you never know what the hell's going to come at me in my sleep. So I gotta be covered. But, never in my wildest dreams would I ever make something like this unless I had the absolute free time to do it. And this was a lot of hours undertaking and a lot of failure, but made me a Freddy Krueger glove because I don't feel like spending $150 on a replica. And I thought, hey, you know what? All these gloves that I see on Etsy or wherever shops, they're made of metal. You don't see any made of wood. I want to see one made of wood. So you know what? Fuck it. You have a wood shop. Make one yourself. And so I did. It's not exactly like the glove that Freddy Krueger uses. I even gave Robert Englund a shout out on Twitter. Man, because, that movie is a huge part of my earlier days. I still watch that movie. I just watched Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors not long ago. I mean, that movie is just so fucking entertaining. Yeah. And yeah, this is a glove that's pretty much made of cherry wood, so it's tough. The claws are tough, and the back plate is made of a piece of Luan. Hot glue it to a really old ratty glove that I found in my garage, and some spray paint effect. That's all it is. And it fits like a glove. So,
I fucking hate you.
Never sleep again. And I burn myself only twice with the hot glue gun. That's it. It was worth it. It was worth it.
And you have pictures on Beyond the Palette, right?
Not of this on Beyond the Palette. I just have pictures of the glove with me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Because this is definitely not for sale. I'm not putting a price tag on this. This is my property. This is my property. I'll make things to sell, but then there are some things that I make like, you know what? I want this.
I think you need to just post pictures and say if you want a special request.
Yeah. Someone did reach out to me in terms of like, hey, I wrote a short story and I really would like this thing come to life. Could you make it? And I'm like, well, I got to read the story and I can go from there. But one thing that would make this glove perfect is if I were to go to a horror convention and if Robert Englund happens to be there, can you sign the inside of my glove to make this perfect? Or just the outside? Anything, man. Seriously, because you're Freddy Krueger, damn it.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was fun
Jeff,
to make.
do you have anything else to add to the show?
Honestly, I'm enjoying the time with my wife and daughter. It's pretty much what it's been. Like, I got some stuff done outside, but I'm able to spend some time with my wife and daughter. Like, I was working like Colin was, like, fucking 50, 60 hours a week, and I was really missing home time. It took its toll on me, it took its toll on her, and I was trying to be here more. And honestly, it's been nice. It sucks. Like, I get antsy.
Yeah.
It's like I'd rather be in, like, getting to see my daughter just doing new things. Like, she just started butt bumping the wall when she gets mad at me. If I find the video, I'll probably send it to these guys.
Nice.
She was
Nice.
pantry door because she was mad at my wife. I was like, really? But she's starting to find out like what her likes are becoming. Like there's new things that were showing her. Like we just saw that new Trolls movie. She really enjoys that. Not so much the first one, but the second one. She really loves Frozen, Moana. So like we ended up with getting Disney Plus. It sucks, but I was like, I did not want to bend the knee to Disney again. But it happened.
Oh, Disney.
Nice.
Colin? Anything else to say, man?
I'm trying to take advantage of the free time. I mean, it's nice not working, 50, 60, sometimes 80 hours, or every day or at least 6 days a week. But, of course, it's, everything's closed, so it's like,
where can you go?
Yeah. I mean, one nice thing is I'm an essential employee and I actually have a driving pass, so if I want to go out for a drive, I can just say like, oh yeah, I'm making a delivery. But I really do hope everybody is being safe, taking all precautions. Let's pray that we get through this soon because life's worth living, man. I mean, we can still take advantage of this time off that we have. Like I hear people, oh, we can't go to the gym. Listen, I've been into bodybuilding my whole life. I got a small little weight set, and I don't even care. I'll rock the shit out of my lightweight if I have to. A workout's a workout.
Yeah.
There's other ways to do squats with dumbbells. I got an easy curl bar. There's videos, YouTube videos. Stop being bitches. Come on.
You can YouTube anything at this point.
Yeah. Do your push-ups.
Yeah.
Do your push-ups every day. Seriously, that's what I do.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody just stay safe out there. Social distance. Stay safe. We'll get through this.
I would say tense why we're doing it this way instead of a normal way.
The evolution of the show.
Yeah.
On Skype.
I think for our first attempt, this might be a good way to do it. Try little things and see if we got to change it. I'd like to stop touching my fucking face. But I wish everyone to be safe. I want to thank all the first responders, the healthcare workers, everybody that's out there every day with it firsthand. Thank you. Please be safe.
Truck drivers, doctors. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My sister and have some close friends who are nurses, and I have information from them about what goes on and what doesn't go on in hospitals. I know it's a touchy subject because it's an election year and all sorts of stuff like that, but and I'm not going to dive deep into it, but just use common sense about things you hear is all I'm going to say. Like if something seems not right, probably isn't. But it still is something to take serious from what everybody I know in the medical field says. So, yes, please take it serious, take precautions. It does spread easy, and the more we contain it, boom.
Yeah.
And
well,
so everybody knows, even though we're all doing it this way, the Loomis room in the Asylum is everywhere. If you're crazy about movies, if you're crazy about movies, you belong here.
Yeah. Seriously.
And wear your doctors.
Actually getting to see what we look like and act and talk finally is probably going to change your mind about all of us.
It might just a little bit.
Now you know why the guys in Kiss wore makeup.
People in the comment section, I thought Jeff would look angrier.
Dude, I'm always smiling.
Oh, I thought Colin sounded hot. Then I saw him.
Weak.
All right, on that note.
Yeah.
This is Colin Peters.
John Rashetter.
And always Jeff Manford.
Stay safe. Stay crazy, y'all.
Yeah.
Please, somebody help me.